Sir, if we don't eat animals or if we don't kill, then how will be balance in the
That's
ecosystem?
a very good question. That's a very good question. So that's a good question. Did you guys understand what she asked? She asked, yeah, if we stop eating these animals, then these animals are just going to get larger and larger in number, and there will be an imbalance in the ecosystem. Now I'll explain to you why that need not necessarily be the case. First of all, you have to understand, like we saw in the video, you saw that part about artificial insemination, the person made the cow pregnant. Right now in the meat, dairy and egg industries and all these animal industries, we humans only forcefully make them pregnant. These animals do not reproduce among themselves. They don't have a choice or thought in that. So if right now, let's just say that how many are we in this classroom? 60 people? Let's say 80, okay, let's say 80 people suddenly now stop eating meat, okay. If that is the case, that means there is less number of people going to the store and buying meat. And we call this as supply and demand. Have you heard of these words? Basically, supply means if someone, for example, let's say there are 10 million smokers in India who smoke cigarettes, okay. So if there are 10 million smokers in India, based on those 10 million smokers, these cigarette companies will keep manufacturing cigarettes. But let's say right now 5 million are saying we won't smoke anymore. We think it's wrong, we're going to stop. Suddenly now they will have to reduce their manufacturing because the number of people demanding cigarettes, so that is supply and demand, demanding cigarettes is reduced. Similarly, if 80 people were to stop eating meat, the demand for meat will reduce. That means this message will eventually reach the person who is breeding the animals, those companies. They will say, if I am going to breed an animal, I am breeding for the only purpose that one day I can raise the animal, kill the animal and sell it to someone who will buy it from me. If 80 people are not going to buy, why will I breed? So he will stop breeding. If we stopped eating meat, dairy and eggs, the population of domestic animals will actually go down. It won't go up because these animals are bred to meet the demand. And think of it this way also, when you look at the animals who live in the streets, such as like cats and dogs, do you see them in the thousands and millions? No, they remain in a small pocketed numbers. Pigeons, yes, there are a lot of pigeons, a lot of crows. But how many chickens do you think there are right now in Karnataka who are being killed? And every day around 1 million or 10 million being killed. So these farmed animals right now, we are every year killing 70 billion. That is 70,000 million is 70 billion. So that's, and understand all of these animals on earth, we are only artificially breeding. And the word is breeding. Have you heard of the word breeding? Breeding means that we forcefully make animals give birth. And again, this is done to meet the demand. If let's say 80 people start eating more non-veg, what will happen? They will breed more. So the imbalance or balance issue right now depends on how many people are eating. If people stop eating, they'll stop. If people eat more, they'll increase. And another point you guys can note here is that currently, us humans eating so many animals is actually causing an imbalance in the ecosystem. If you're not aware about this, right now in the Amazon, acres and acres of forest in the Amazon and the world over are being chopped off. You know why? They are growing soybeans there. Soybeans not for vegans to eat. They take those soybeans and they feed them to cows and chickens and pigs. Why? Because only those animals eat those soybeans, they'll become fat. You can't, if the animal looks like me, you can't kill and eat it. There's nothing, only skin and bones. You need to have a fat and plumpy animal. So these animals are fed so much food. So we are actually killing off forests and using the fertile soil in the forest to create food to feed farmed animals. Then not to mention all these animals, just like us humans, they have to go urine, they have to defecate, right? All of this is all taken, like imagine 70 billion animals, how many tons and kilograms of feces is coming. All of this is dumped into river bodies, lakes and oceans. This is now poisoning the waterways there and killing all the aquatic life, right? And not to mention, have you heard of global warming? Right. So global warming, there are various gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide. But methane is one of the major contributors to global warming. And raising of livestock, there is cattle, sheep and goats. These animals are called as ruminant animals. Have you heard of this word ruminant? These animals have 4 compartments in their stomach. So what happens is they actually release a lot of methane when they burp or when they pass flatulence. And this methane increases global warming levels. So that means right now, since we are eating meat, dairy and eggs, we are actually contributing to global warming, poisoning of the waterways and cutting of forests the world over to grow crops to feed animals. If anything, eating meat, dairy and eggs is causing an imbalance in society right now. If we stopped eating meat, dairy and eggs, the imbalance will actually be more balanced. And think of one last point, guys. Are you aware that to create just 1 kilogram of meat, we have to actually, for example, take it, imagine right now I am an animal, okay? You are raising me. I right now weigh 85 kilograms, okay? Now, if you kill me now as it is, you will hardly get any meat. But if I became 125 kilograms, that is 40 more kgs of flesh you will get. But for me to become 40 more kgs heavier, every day you have to feed me kilograms and kilograms and kilograms of food. That means for getting just 1 kilogram of my flesh, you will have to feed me hundreds of kilograms of plant food. That means in society right now, we have people starving without food. When I am choosing to eat chicken, that chicken has been fed so many grains that could have been fed to a starving human being. Do you understand my point? All these animals we are killing and eating, they get water every day. They get food every day to make them fat. If we don't give them, they'll become skinny. So I am now giving so much food that is potentially edible for a starving person to animals just because their flesh tastes good for me. Just think for a moment, that is actually selfishness. We are also harming other humans, we are harming the environment, we are causing deforestation and water pollution. If anything, a vegan world will solve all this. A vegan world will end all of this imbalance. Right now, the current world we are living in, that is the imbalance we live in. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good question. Both of you.